At this time, I'd like to bring to order the October 22nd, 2020 meeting of the Bristol Borough Board of Education. And I would first like to announce that we meet in executive session to discuss some legal matters related to our upcoming bond refinance. And I would also like to read this statement, that this meeting will be conducted live but in a virtual format via Zoom technology. As with the previous board meetings, this process is permissible under and consistent with the applicable Pennsylvania School Code, the Sunshine Act, and the Bristol Borough School District policy provisions. And public access for participation in the meeting can be accomplished per instructions attached. So at this time, could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
States of America,
and to the republic
and to the republic for which it stands, one
under
nation,
God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty and
with
justice.
liberty, justice for all.
Okay. We'll do a roll call of the attendance. Mr.
Okay.
Ciccone.
Did you?
Mr. Ciccoletti.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was muted. I was talking to you and Jen. Sorry. You're here.
Mr. Cullen.
Here.
Mr. DeMarcus has called in. He's not unable to attend. Ms. Paglione.
Here,
Mr. Poliafico.
Here.
Mr. Parolo. Mr. Parolo, I do not see Mr. Parolo on the picture. So Mr. Parolo not here. Mr. Poplowski.
Here.
Mr. Rusin.
Here.
And Mr. D'Angelo is here. So we have 7 out of 9 members attending. Okay. At this time, for item 3, I would like to approve the agenda with said addendums made to item 6A and 7C, and we are adding an item 7D. Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Poliafico. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cullen. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Ciccoletti,
Yes.
Mr. Cullen,
Yes.
Ms. Paglione,
yes,
Mr. Poliafico,
Yes.
Mr. Popolowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
and Mr. D'Angelo. And that motion carries 7-0. And so now I'll turn it over to Rose. We have some reports and presentations. Both.
Yes, I'm actually going to turn it over to Karen Devine. She has a presentation for Mary Jane Paglione.
Thank you so much. Good evening, and thank you for including me on tonight's agenda and for your membership to PSBA. I'm Karen Devine, Director of Member Services, and although I've been with PSBA for 23 years, I just started covering your part of the state about a year ago. So I am your field rep. If you ever need anything at all, I'm the person you can call. I just have a couple of reminders before I begin with the presentation. We do have complimentary roles and responsibilities workshops coming up in December. They're free to the members, of course. We have an updated, refreshed Success Starts Here section of our website. Take a look. We actually have your school district profile there. And then also just a reminder that the required school director training for re-elected and newly elected school directors is due in December. And if you have any questions about that, please feel free to give me a call or email me. So now my primary purpose for being here tonight is to honor a long-serving school board member. We call this the honor roll of school board service. And I have a few comments about this that I would like to share. The legacy of school board service is firmly embedded in the history of our nation and its commitment to public education. Pennsylvania clearly established the concept of schooling in its first constitution in 1776. And later, the Free Schools Act of 1834 marked the first permanent state interest in public education and the birth of the locally elected school board. So it all began here in Pennsylvania, and we are proud of that. And then the first School Boards Association was PSBA, and this year we're celebrating our 125th anniversary. School directors today have a very difficult job in a complex society. You give more and more of your personal time to this personal, non-paid, volunteer, elected position. And we recognize how much time you've been putting into this position through this pandemic, and we thank you for that. We started recognizing school directors in 1983 at 8 years of service, and then every 4 years thereafter through the honor roll of school board service. This is our small way of saying thank you for all of your time and effort that goes into this position. You exemplify leadership and statesmanship, and you give unselfishly of your time and talents for the future of your public schools and your children. So we want to thank you, and tonight I am specifically thanking Mary Jane Paglioni. Hope I'm saying that correctly.
It's
Mary
Paglione,
Jane
but that's okay.
Paglione, okay. So I am holding up a certificate, and I don't know if you can see it.
No, I'm just on my phone.
Okay. Well, Mary Jane, I will let you know that I have a certificate because that was easier to see, but because you reached the milestone of 24 years, you actually get a plaque. It's harder.
Wow.
Yeah, it's harder to see. It's a glass plaque, beautifully made, and we're going to put both of these in the mail to you. So you should get these by the end of next week. I thank you so
Thanks.
much. Mary Jane, do you have anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Karen. And as you know, I am a Bristol Borough born, bred, and educated. My love for Bristol Borough and its children led me to run for school director some 24 years ago. I can honestly say it is a position I am most proud of to hold.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm sorry.
I
Mary.
hope that my service has helped to improve the school district, teachers, parents, community, but above all, the children. I will continue to strive for nothing short of the best for our youth, and I sincerely thank you for your past and present support. Thank you very much.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
I wish I could have been there in person to do this. This is when we usually take pictures and it ends up on social media. So I just thank you. Yeah, I thank you for allowing me to do this virtually. And I hope the next time I get to see your board, I get to see you in person. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Congratulations to Mary Jane.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yes, Mary Jane, congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Dave, aren't you? You're close, Dave, right? You're pretty close to her.
Okay, Dr. Benetti.
A few updates. First of all, congratulations, Mary Jane, on 24 years of service. to the Bristol Borough School District.
Thank you, Rose.
This week started our first week of full hybrid. So we had all grade levels in, it was very, very successful. I'd like to thank all the parents for their support, the school board for your support, the administration, and especially our teachers. They have just done a wonderful, wonderful job of making this work and learning how to not only teach virtually, but then also have that added stress of having students in front of you while you're teaching virtually at the same time. And they have risen to the occasion, and it's been going very, very smoothly. All of our classrooms are social distanced at least 6 feet between students. Teachers, everybody in the buildings are wearing masks and following all the protocols that are in place, right down to recess at the elementary school. It's just going very, very well. People are adapting very well. This schedule will be in place for the foreseeable future, unless something happens that critically changes the numbers. So if the numbers in the county go up to a place where our COVID numbers are substantial as a county, then it would have to be reevaluated. And of course, if there was a vaccine or something that would allow all of us to come back in full, we would always welcome that possibility and discuss it. So, but we really appreciate all the support that we've gotten from the community. There will be another survey that will go out by the end of next week if parents want to change the mode that they're in right now and go full virtual again, or they would like to change from full virtual to hybrid. They'll have the opportunity to do that because the end of the quarter ends on November 13th. I wanted to let everybody know that the AOC is going to have their ceremony tomorrow at 2:30 for the Teacher and Student of the Year. This year's Teacher of the Year is Lynn Ciotti. She's one of our elementary teachers, and she was elected by her peers as our Teacher of the Year. And our Student of the Year is Maria Bernadette Everdone. She is a senior. And just a few things about Maria Bernadette. She is part of the Bristol High Event Committee, Tutor Club, Teen Foundation. She currently serves as the secretary of the executive board of the Student Council. She also does community service through the Community Advisory Committee. She serves in many programs through her church. And over the past 2 years, she has performed over 100 hours of community service. She's received certificates of achievement from institutions such as the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the American Chemical Society, and the Society of Women Engineers. She's also the recipient, I put that word out today, of the American Legion Certificate of Distinguished Achievement and the Mock Trial Certificate of Appreciation. She's a distinguished honor roll student who has also achieved the Microsoft Word and Excel Specialist Certificates through the Bucks County Community College. So she is a wonderful representative of our school district, and we will be honoring her tomorrow at the ceremony. Usually that would be the Fall Classic that she would be honored, but this year we're doing a virtual conference. I've sent that out to all the board members. If you'd like me to resend that link, please just let me know. Next week is Homecoming, Spirit Week, and our senior night for football. Game time will be posted on our website. So we're going to discuss that with the coach and come up with the best time. It will be later than a 4 o'clock start. So parents could definitely have the opportunity to make it to the game. We want to make sure that all of our parents of our seniors and our homecoming court and all of our players could be at the game. We are starting a tutor program. It was the brainchild of Deb Fine. She came to me while we were still closed and over the summer, just wanted to know, is there anything that she can do to help us? And, the retired teacher community would like to help out. So we've been working to come up with a strategy of how that could happen. So in working with Deb Fine and Mary Giswaldi, they have come up with 9 community members and retired teachers who would like to do some tutoring with our students. Some students have had a hard time with being online and this whole transition back and forth. So we want to make sure we're not losing anybody. So they're going to volunteer to come in and do some tutoring with our kids after school. And I just wanted to thank Deb for all her work that she's put into this, and for coming up with the ideas and working with me. She's a wonderful community member, and we really appreciate all that she's done. In addition to Mary Giswaldi, who's always there. I say Mary, she doesn't know how to retire. She's wonderful. Helps out all the time. And then I also wanted to tell the board about a fruit and vegetable grant that we received for the elementary school in the amount of $57,960 to provide fresh produce for our students at the elementary school. Chris and Jen White put this application together through the state, and it was accepted. So that will offset some of our costs and allow us to provide fresh fruits and vegetables for our students at the elementary school, which is it's a wonderful program. I also wanted to let everyone know that there are crossing guards that are needed for the school district. So if anybody's interested in becoming a crossing guard, they are welcome to give us a call at the school, or you can call Chief Henry. He's the one who organizes the crossing guards. I know that we are down a few right now. Okay, and that's what I have for today. John, you're muted.
Thank you, Dr. Minetti. If we could move on to public participation, is there anyone that has dialed in or sent questions or concerns to Dr. Minetti? Did you receive anything, Dr. Minetti?
I did not.
Okay, so we'll just take it from where people who have dialed in. Anyone from the public that wishes to ask a question or concern, please state your name and go ahead. Again, anyone from the public, I see we do have some public people. Many of you are muted. So if you're trying to make a comment, please unmute.
Hi, John. I just wanted to thank Rose for mentioning the program to help students who are struggling during this time. And if any of you who are on right now know of anyone else who might be willing and able to participate in this program, please have them get in touch with me or Mary Giswaldi and let us know. We can use a lot of help at this point. So thanks very much, Rose, for letting folks know what's happening. And hopefully we'll be able to do some good to help the students. Thanks.
Deb, I just have a question. You're saying that we have a lot of kids that are you're working with, and we need more tutors. Is that what you're saying?
We are about to start. We're actually going to be meeting with the guidance counselors next week, Mary Giswaldi and myself, and we'll find out then what students are in particular need and what kind of help needs to be given.
Great. We really appreciate it. Please pass on what you need, and if you we can send out a call for some retired teachers or just members of our community that might be able to help. So thank you. Please keep us up to date.
I will. You're welcome.
Okay. Anyone else from the public? Anyone from the public wish to comment or have a question? If not, we will revisit public participation near the end. But we're going to close public participation for now. And we'll move on to our routine monthly business. Mr. Ciccoletti?
Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Item A, motion to adopt a resolution entitled "A Resolution That Authorizes the incurrence of non-electoral debit by the Bristol Borough School District, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, the participant, pursuant to the issuance of the General Obligation Note 2021 series, collectively the participant note in the aggregate principal amount of $9,239,000, approved the certain capital projects, approved the negotiated sale of participant note to the Delaware Valley Regional Finance Authority, approved the substantial forms of the loan documents, and authorizes execution and delivery of all necessary documents, states the amortization schedule and maximum annual debt service payments, authorizes and awards a transaction under a qualified interest rate managed agreement, and authorized and directs a filing to the Department of Community and Economic Development, pledges the full faith, credit, and taxing power of the participant for the timely repayment of participant note, including the periodic payment due under the qualified interest rate management agreement, covenants of pay any termination charges, creates and appoints a sinking fund depository, authorizes the application for approval of the issuance of the participant note to the Department of Community and Economic Development, authorizes advertisement of the adoption and repeals inconsistent resolutions.
So the motion made by Mr. Chicoletti, could I get a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Second.
Okay, that was from Mr. Cullen. I just want to add something to this resolution. Originally, when we advertised this in the newspapers and in the various required publications, the amount was for $9,234,000. That's what we posted when the costs were not quite exact. We've got a more exact amount, and that is what we're approving today. As Mr. Chicoletti read, would be $9,239,000. It was a $5,000 difference increase, and it was based on an estimate of the insurance cost that we'll have to pay. We've been notified by our Mr. Calhoun from the Delaware Valley Regional Finance Authority that any discrepancy, once the actual amount is known, anything that is we overstated here will be reimbursed back to the district. Any questions or concerns from the board?
Computer, we can put them on.
All right, I'll take that as a no. We do have Mr. Calhoun here, and which we met in executive session. Mr. Calhoun, is there anything that you wish to add?
No, Mr. Chairman, you covered it all.
All right, and again, thank you for your time, and we appreciate all your help. Hopefully, we'll be moving forward with this when the interest rates move in our favor. And with that,
Mr. President,
yes.
I just want to make, just for the purpose of the record, I'd like to ask my colleague, Ms. Fusco, just one simple question.
Sure.
Ms. Fusco, you reviewed the documents provided by the financing authority, and all those documents are in order and proper for tonight for the board to authorize the adoption of the resolution?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser, and thank you, Ms. Fusco.
You're welcome.
Okay, and now we will do a roll call vote. Mr. Chicoletti,
Yes.
Mr. Cullen,
Yes.
Ms. Paglione,
Yes.
Mr. Poliafico,
Yes.
Mr. Poplawski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
and Mr. D'Angelo. And so that motion carries 7-0. Okay, Mr. Chicoletti, would you go back to item 5 under routine monthly business? It's just above the motion that you read.
But Is that the motion to ratify the advertisement of the previous resolution for consideration at
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
consideration at this meeting and to authorize any additional advertisement as may be required? That's item B.
Motion by Mr. Chicoletti. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by I heard Mr. Rusin. It sounded like, didn't it? Is that you, John?
Yeah, that's me. That was me.
Okay, any questions or concerns here? Okay, if there are none, we will take a roll call vote. Mr. Chicoletti,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Ms. Paglione,
Yes.
Mr. Poliafico,
Yes.
Mr. Popolowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo is a yes. That motion carries 7-0. All right, I'm going to go back, Mr. Chicoletti, to item 5 under routine monthly business. A, could we get a motion to approve minutes of September 24th, 2020? Could we get item B, approve the list of bills for October 2020? And item C, to approve the treasurer's report for September 2020. Could I get a motion?
I'll second that.
I need it first.
I'll first.
I'll make a motion.
All right, Mr. Poliafico makes the motion. Mr. Cullen is the second. Are there any questions or concerns regarding the routine monthly business items A, B, and C for item 5? If not, let's do a roll call vote. Mr. Chicoletti,
Yes.
Mr. Cullen,
Yes.
Ms. Paglione,
Yes.
Mr. Poliafico,
Yes.
Mr. Popolowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
and Mr. D'Angelo. That motion carries 7-0. Okay, Mr. Chicoletti, could you go to item 7 under personnel? Mr. Chicoletti,
Mr. Chairman,
Is that 7D?
7A, go under 7, personnel. You got to do item A, B, and C first. Page 3.
I don't have the agenda again.
all right.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Mr.
you don't have to,
Chairman,
don't worry.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of the following part-time matron at the rate of $10.46 per hour, no benefits, as per the negotiated agreement, effective 2020-2021 school year, pending clearances. Amanda Charles and Anne Marie Plensky Woffinger.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Paglione. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Poliafico. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Chicoletti,
Yes.
Mr. Cullen,
Yes.
Mrs. Paglione,
Yes.
Mr. Poliafico,
Yes.
Mr. Popolowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
and Mr. D'Angelo is a yes, and that motion carries 7-0. Mary Jane, would you like to do item B?
Okay, yes. Mr. Chairman, motion to approve the appointment of the following district aides, $14.20 per hour, no benefits, as per negotiated agreement, effective 2020-2021 school year, pending clearances. Allison McHugh and Carolyn Grohl. I don't know how to say her name. Growl.
Okay.
So-
Motion made by Mrs. Paglione. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cullen. Any questions or concerns regarding item B? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Chicoletti,
Yes.
Mr. Cullen,
Yes.
Mrs. Paglione,
Yes.
Mr. Poliafico,
Yes.
Mr. Popolowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
and Mr. D'Angelo is a yes. That motion carries. Okay, I'm going to read item C, and that would be to approve the appointment of the following day-to-day substitute teacher at $105 per diem, no benefits, effective 2021 school year, pending paperwork and clearances. And the rate for the day-to-day substitute will increase to $115 per day after 20 days. And tonight we're appointing Lisa Rentz Cox. Can I get a motion?
I make a
Motion.
motion.
Motion by Mr. Poliafico, second by Mr. Cullen.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions or concerns there?
Is she going to be she's going to be the day-to-day substitute, or is it part-time substitute?
It's going to be a day-to-day.
Okay.
Any other questions? If not, let's go to a roll call. Mr. Chicoletti,
Yes.
Mr. Cullen,
Yes.
Mrs. Paglian,
Yes.
Mr. Poliafico,
Yes.
Mr. Popolowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
and Mr. D'Angelo is a yes. That motion is 7-0. Okay, the item that we added, item D, Mr. Chicoletti.
Appoint the following permanent substitutes at a rate of $125 per day, effective 10/26/20, with no benefits. John Sabatini and Trevor Leone.
And that would be pending clearances as well and paperwork?
Yes.
Okay.
So the motion is made by Mr. Chicoletti. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cullen. Any questions or concerns?
Yeah, I got one with Trevor. I mean, didn't we just hire him for something last meeting or the meeting before?
I think he's a football coach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I recognize the name is the only reason
He
I'm
coaches
bringing that up.
football.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the assistant coaches.
Oh, okay.
Okay, any other questions? If not, let's do the roll call. Mr. Chicoletti,
Yes.
Mr. Cullen,
Yes.
Ms. Paglione,
Yes.
Mr. Poliafico,
Yes.
Mr. Popolowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
and Mr. D'Angelo is a yes. So item D will pass as a motion of 7-0. Okay. Anyone from the public that may be forgotten, missed our first session, have any questions or concerns, please unmute and identify yourself and ask any questions. Okay, with that, let's go around the horn. Mr. Chicoletti, you have anything you'd like to say?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Cullen.
Yes, I have a few things. I want to just again thank the school district for their great opening of the school and everything that's being done. I mean, the school. I was in the school. It's very clean. We're taking very good care of our school and make sure it's nice and safe. And I was actually even at the football games. It was very well handled as far as people coming in and people being checked, and that was great. And I also like to thank Debbie Fine for all the work that she's doing. And I know she just came off of a little bit of surgery, and I really appreciate all the hard work that Debbie is doing to help our students. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cullen. Mrs. Paglione.
Yes, I'd like to commend Rose for and her staff and administration for the smooth opening of the school and how it is running smoothly. And it's wonderful that the children are back in school. I know my granddaughter goes to kindergarten and she loves it. She can't wait to go to school in the morning. She wants to be the first in line. So it's wonderful. So I commend all of you for doing a great job.
Thank you, Mary Jane.
You're
And
welcome.
congratulations to you on 24 years of serving our district.
Thank you.
And I just want
Thank
to say
you.
that over those 24 years, I know you've seen a lot of things, but I don't think you've ever expected to be sitting here today dealing what we're dealing with. And
No, never.
your compliments to our district and all our employees that are making it happen are well founded. So thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
John.
Move on to Mr. Poliafico.
I just want to say, tell Rose thank you and for all the hard work and the entire staff. Job well done and continued success. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Poliafico. Mr. Poplowski.
Just want to second what Steve, Mary Jane, and Jeff just said about the staff. I have a unique situation. I'm a teacher in another area. I'm also a parent of 3 kids in the school, so I'm able to be part of the pickup, the drop off, and kind of see things a little bit more hands-on than some other people might. So the last 2 days, like I said, everything went pretty smooth, at least from my vision. Like I said, they might have, might be critical of themselves, but everything looked good. Same thing with my daughters. They're on a Wednesday, Thursday schedule. And as soon as they got home today, they go, Dad, when's Wednesday again? So they knew they wanted to go back. So kids are excited. And I think all the precautions are being there. There might be some hiccups, but we're going to make adjustments and make sure everybody's safe.
Thank you, Mr. Poplowski. Mr. Rusin.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that worked on the refinancing of the note. I know everybody I know John and Chris and Jeff and Georgine, they worked hard on this, and I just wanted to thank you for that. We're saving a lot of money by doing it, and it's a good thing. Another thing is that that us at the tech school are in the process. I think of our October meeting is going to be a hybrid type of school board meeting, and we're going to see how that goes. With the social distancing and wearing the mask and the whole works, but there is going to be a virtual portion to that also. And that being said, I want to just thank Mary Jane also for all your years and your dedication. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, John.
Hey, and thanks for the update on the tech school. And I know that at the IU and even in our district, we're trying to figure out the continued format of our meetings going forward. The one bright spot of having these virtual meetings is that we're reaching more people that normally wouldn't come out, especially during the pandemic, to actually attend a meeting. So thank you, and keep us updated, because you're the president of that tech school, right?
Yes, I am. And I'll tell you what, I think we're getting better with these virtual meetings. I think they're running a little bit smoother. That's my opinion anyhow, but yeah, it looks good to me, but I can't wait to get back to face-to-face meetings, so.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, and I just want to, again, just kind of update what's happening from the point of view of the intermediate unit, because, there are 13 distinct school districts in Bucks County, and every one of them has gone back in a different manner. Some have gone back full time in the upper part of the county. Some have done hybrid. Some have done total virtual. And I can say, being able to sit at the table and hear all the issues that they're facing, and it's just really kind of good to know that Dr. Minetti and Mrs. Rosado and all our principals and staff, we've done it a little different than almost every other district, and we're really seeing some good success. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and let's keep our protocols in place to keep everyone safe. And sooner or later, we really got to get back to the business of really learning. I think right now that's the only part that not only Bristol Borough, but all the other school districts are facing. You know, how to get caught up, how to get on track with our kids at their proper grade levels. So I do want to thank everyone for all their hard work, including the other board members. And with that being said, our next, I would ask Mr. Hauser if you have anything to add.
I just again want to thank my colleague Ms. Fusco for her hard work on the refinancing, and it's always a pleasure to be here. And I will send Mr. Truelove your regards. He's doing well, and one of us will look forward to seeing you in November.
How about you, Ms. Fusco?
Thank you.
It was very nice to meet everyone. I'm glad I could be part of the bond refinancing, and thank you to everyone.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for your work on the finance. So that being said, and again, so two things, Dr. Minetti. We have tomorrow at 2:30. I did get the notice, and so it's a dial in. If you want to join for the Teacher of the Year, which is Lynn Ciotti, or you want to see us honor our Student of the Year, check your email. If you don't have the link, Dr. Minetti can resend it. Give her a call, and please join if you can. I don't think it's going to be very long, but again, this is in place of our Fall Classic. Hopefully, that's something that we can get back on track in person as well. Our next public meeting is scheduled for Thursday, November 12th. And if there are no other questions and no other orders of business for the district, I would like to ask someone for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Poliafico, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rusin. And with that, I formally adjourn this meeting. Thanks, everyone.